Good afternoon, everybody. This is Why We Love Sports, episode 20, my 20th episode. And this is your host, Double A Aaron Entertainment. I got a couple announcements to make. Don't worry. They're not big announcements. They're small announcements. Tiny announcements. Very tiny announcements. So I'm gonna make them right away. Thursday. You know how I have It's All About the Pop this Thursdays, every Thursdays? There's a strong possibility and that I won't be doing a show this Thursday. I might be pushing it forward to Wednesday or pushing it back to Friday. Only because Justice League Snyder Cut comes out Thursday and it's a 4-hour movie, so there's a good chance I'll be watching a movie when I usually do my show. That's at 2 p.m. So don't look for Justice League Snyder. Don't look for It's All About the Pop Thursday. On Thursday. It's upcoming Thursday. Also, sports. This is about my show, Why We Love Sports. So, as you know, the baseball season is starting up soon, right? We got a couple weeks away. As you know, if you're a baseball fan, you know on Saturdays, it tends to be afternoon games, right? So, I'm a strong Blue Jay fan, and for example, the first week they played opening series, they played against the Yankees. They played against the Yankees on April 1st, which is a Thursday. Yeah, it's a Thursday. So I don't know if I'm going to do as well to pop on that Thursday either. They have a day off on a Friday, and then Saturday, April the 3rd, they have an afternoon game at 1 o'clock. So even though my show's at 2 o'clock, I won't be doing a show at 1 o'clock at 3 o'clock on Saturdays. So Saturdays is well, I don't do shows on Sundays, but Saturdays I will not be doing. On some days, on some Saturdays, depending on the time of my Blue Jays play, I will not be doing shows at 3 o'clock on Saturdays. And if that's the case, I may move it up to Fridays, because Fridays are usually night games, right? Fridays are usually night games. So depending what times the Blue Jays play on Saturdays, they play in the afternoon, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Don't count on me doing a show on Saturdays. If they play at night on Saturdays, like sometimes they'll play at night on Saturdays. For example, in Tampa Bay, they'll play at night. I'll do an afternoon show. So to conclude this, guys, Saturdays, my shows will vary. Sometimes I'll have the show on Saturdays, depending on the times of my Blue Jays when my Blue Jays play. Or I may move them up. If that's the case, I move them up the show to Friday. So this show for this upcoming MLB season, from April to September, will be Fridays and Saturdays, depending what time my Blue Jays play on Saturdays. And that could be the same for Thursdays, for It's All About the Pop, because sometimes they play afternoon games. Oh yeah, we're allowed down here. We could get down there, but thank you. But I'm not taking that risk, but I appreciate it. And this also applies to Thursdays, because on Thursdays are known as off days, but sometimes teams play on Thursdays, and they're usually afternoon games. So this could play on Thursdays too. If that's the case, I don't know what I'll do about the pop. Maybe move it to a later time on a Thursday, or maybe move it to Wednesdays. Because usually Tuesdays and Wednesdays I don't have shows, but if that's the case where it's about the pop and Blue Jays play in the afternoon on Thursdays sometimes. If it's not a 4-game series, if a 4-game series starts on Thursday, that'll most likely start at night. So that's different. But if it's a ending of a series on Thursday, that's definitely an afternoon game. And Thursdays are usually off days too. So Thursdays will vary. All right, not like Saturdays. Baseball plays on every Saturday. So depending on the Blue Jays on Saturdays, if they play night games on Saturday, I'll do the show. On Saturdays. If they play the afternoon game, I'll move the show to Friday. So be on the lookout for that, because I'm always ahead of the schedule, so I know. And April 3rd, the second game of the season, is a 1 o'clock game. So there's definitely no show no show, no show for me, for you guys. I'm sorry. So I'll move it up to Friday. Because and Thursdays, yeah, sometimes Thursdays would be like Saturday. If they don't play in the afternoon, if there's a night game on Thursday, like a beginning of a 4-game set, I'll do a show in the afternoon. If there's an afternoon game on Thursdays, I won't be doing a show. But most of the time, Thursdays is an off day, a lot like Mondays. And Mondays, it's all about wrestling, so. And it's a good chance most games. There's no afternoon games. Afternoon games don't usually play on Mondays. Usually off days or the beginning of a 4-game series. So Mondays, it's all about wrestling. You'll be safe. Except when the Jays are going to Texas. That's actually a 4 o'clock game, so I could probably do this. It's all about wrestling on that day. So it's all about wrestling. Looks safe. Looks like it'll be on Mondays no matter what. Thursday show could be moved to Wednesdays, or possibly to stay on Thursdays. Most likely, and Saturdays show, depending, could be moved to Friday, or it can stay on Saturday. So Thursdays and Saturday show will, depending, could be moved on Friday or Wednesday, depending. And so there'll be so look out for those shows on. It's about to pop on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and Why We Love Sports on Fridays and Saturdays. Depending when my Blue Jays play, the time of the day. Because Thursdays, they could be afternoon games, or it's an off day, so you don't have to worry about that most of the time on Thursdays. But Saturdays are the days you got to worry about for my show, and I'll keep you aware of that. I'll set up the streams and I'll keep you all aware of that, guys. Oh yeah, I've been so yeah. Before I go into detail, guys. I mean, it's not a newsworthy show, but I wanted to invite guests on. So, I've been watching a lot of spring training too, man. It's fun. It's very fun to watch spring training. And not just the Jays, it's everybody. Yeah, okay, just everybody. And I was hoping to get guests on. Because this is a special show. This is my 20th episode. So let's get to the news first. The news first, guys. I want to talk about the big signing. The big re-signing in the NFL. Perhaps the worst signing in the NFL. DeGrom, yeah. Yeah, Bauer's been good. And Nola pitched well, yeah. They have been. So what was I going to say? Biggest signing in the NFL. Looks done by yours truly. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys and the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. Who did they re-sign? Well, I think you all know the answer to that. They re-signed their franchise quarterback, definitely the franchise quarterback, Dax Prescott, to a massive, whopping deal. He's being paid the highest paid quarterback in the league now, starting next season. And I think his average salary like $42 million a year. $42 million a year, and that's for 4 years or something like that. And he had an injury-plagued season. Remember that. Injury-plagued season. Now, guys, Here's what I think about Dax Prescott. He's a good quarterback, maybe a top 10 quarterback in the league, but is he top 5? I don't think so. Who is better than Dax Prescott? Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson. There's 5 right there. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to the Cam Newton thing too. That's 5. Who's after that? Drew Brees? I don't know. He might be top 10, but he's definitely not top 5. And and Pat Mahomes, man, he must be regretting signing a massive extension, his massive extension with the Chiefs. Because Dax Prescott now is the highest paid quarterback. He's setting the tone for the next big time quarterback to get more money. Whew. I don't think he's deserved that money. The thing what I've heard about the Cowboys is they have the highest paid quarterback, they have one of the highest paid offenses in the league. But their problem this season was not the offense. Their problem this season was their fucking defense. Their defense was so bad this year. It was embarrassing. And now they're most of the money in the salary cap, whatever, is heavily on the offensive side. That's scary and that's dangerous. Because their weakness was defense. It was record-setting terrible. It was terrible this season. Now most of their money is on the offensive side of the ball. Great. Ezekiel Elliott, Lamb, Mari Cooper, Prescott, good. But their defense, man, you gotta spend some money on their defense. Their defense is their weakness. They're focused too much of their money on their defense. I want to know what Cowboy fans feel about this, huh? And this is Jerry Jones, guy. This is Jerry Jones. You know, Jerry Jones. Am I surprised? No. Is he worth it? No. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks in the league that are getting too much money that don't deserve it. And this is what gets teams in trouble. Look at Jared Goff. Jared Goff is one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Yeah, example there. Now, as my boy Juan here alluded to here, what about oh, sorry. What about Tom Brady re-signing with the Bucks? I don't understand the Cam Newton 1-year deal. He played awful, had 1 year $1 million contract, and pass bumped him up to $14 million. Yeah. So I'm not surprised. Like, Tom Brady got him a Super Bowl and he won a Super Bowl, right? So I'm not surprised. Tom Brady is an extension. I think it was like a 4-year extension or something, like 1 or 4 year. I don't know. I think it's a 1 to a 4-year extension. This guy is gonna play. Tom Brady is not gonna retire until he's like 50 years old. When he hits 50, that's when he's gonna retire. Yeah, I'm over exaggerating here, but he's like what, 43, 44 now? If he hits like, I may be close, guys. I may be right there. Maybe he'll retire at 50. You know, there's been kickers in the NFL in the past that made it to 50. Yeah, because you know what? They don't get tackled a lot, and all they have to do is kick the ball. But if Tom Brady makes it to 50, just imagine that. And now let's get to the Cam Newton thing. What the Buccaneers have to do is re-sign Shaquille Barrett too. Because if they don't re-sign him, some teams are going to dish out a lot of money for him in the free agent market. Now the Cam Newton thing. I agree with you about the money, the $14 million. I think that's too much for him. I think this is a placeholder contract. Placeholder because let's look at it this way. The Patriots have to build for the future of the quarterback position. And Cam Newton is not the answer. I have a theory. They're going to try and draft a quarterback in the first round. Now, they're not going to get Trevor Lawrence. Let's get that out of the way. They're not going to draft Trevor Lawrence. There's no way Jacksonville is willing to trade with any team because Trevor Lawrence, from everybody, from all the scouts, from all the analysts, Trevor Lawrence is like the closest thing to Andrew Luck coming out of the university, and the closest thing to Peyton Manning. So there's no way Jacksonville is going to give up a potential franchise quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. But we got other solid quarterbacks in the first round. They got Fields from Ohio State, but apparently he's being bumped from, what's his name? Bryce Young or something like that. What's his name from BYU? Let me check. Just let me check real quick for you guys. Okay. So, Zach Wilson. His name is Zach Wilson, not Young. So, remember, couple projections had Fields from Ohio State ahead of as a second quarterback taking place. But now, yeah, man, I agree with you, sir, a lot. I will see with Carson Wentz. The thing with Carson Wentz. And the thing with him and the Colts, at least they have an offensive line that can protect him, right? So yeah, so with the Patriots, so Trevor Lawrence, so Zach Wilson from BYU, right? BYU, Zach Wilson might be the guy. Somebody that New England wants, but New England, I don't know. If they can't get Zach Wilson, maybe Justin Field, I think, or Trey Lance. I think New England is just signing Cam Newton, but they're going to draft a quarterback. If they have a chance in the first round to draft their future quarterback. Draft their future quarterback. That's why I think that's why they signed Cam Newton to 1 year, and he was terrible. And I don't know why they're paying up to $14 million. Teams tend to overpay quarterback. I agree quarterback is the most important players on the team. But there are some quarterbacks are getting paid way too much. Okay, way too much, man. Look at Jared Goff, for example. Let's look at let me find highest paid quarterbacks and see if they're worth it. I'll go yes and no, and you could go down. You could. Okay. So actually, Pat Mahomes is making more money than Dax Prescott. So let's go down. Let me share it with you guys and let's see what you guys think. Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Here we go. Now this has been updated. I don't know why it did that. Here we go. Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs, $45 million. He won't be a free agent in 2032. Yeah, because he signed a massive extension. Yep, he's worth it. 45 million, right? A year? Prescott. He's a shorter term, but he's making 40 million. Is he worth 40 million? I don't think so. He's good, but I don't think he's worth 40 million. Deshaun Watson, 39 million. He might be worth 39 million. He's definitely better than Prescott. Russell Wilson, yeah, 35 million. I think it's worth it. He's a good quarterback on Super Bowls. Yeah, he's worth it. Now Jared Goff, 33 million a year. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Rodgers, now there's a guy who's making less than but he's a free agent in 2 years, 3 years, 33 million a year. There's a guy's getting underpaid, don't you think? Maybe he should be making over 35 million more, making 35 million, or at least more than that. I got Kirk Cousins making 33 million. Well, Kirk Cousins is a solid quarterback. He hasn't won anything major. So, and Carson Wentz, 32 million. Oh yeah, there's a bad contract. We'll see how he does with Indianapolis. Matt Ryan, 30 million. He's not at the point where Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. 30 million, I guess, is okay. Ryan Tannehill, 29 million. Now, what do you think Ryan Tannehill on the Miami days would ever make 29 million a year for a quarterback? There's no way anybody thought Ryan Tannehill would ever sniff 29 million a year based on his days on Miami. Miami did him wrong. Tennessee, they built a great offense, a great system around him where he could succeed. Derrick Henry, good receiving, a good offensive line. They successfully built a good system around him. Yeah, he is overpaid a bit. I agree, but you have to admit your Dolphins did him wrong, man. Your Dolphins was a mess. Here's the thing. I was gonna get to the Colts. So we know the Colts got Carson Wentz making 32 million a year. Now here, after Tannehill, the Colts have another quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, making 27 million a year. I never see Brissett as a franchise quarterback, and now they have Wentz. That's 32-27. That's 59 million between two quarterbacks. The Colts have. Yeah, that's true. The Colts have 59 million with two quarterbacks. 10 with Brissett, Jacoby Brissett, and Carson Wentz. That's a lot of money for two quarterbacks. I know you need a good solid backup, but you don't want a backup to be 27 million. Ugh, that's a lot, man. Well, also Garoppolo making 27 million. He's injured a lot. Look at Stratford, 27 million, and Goff is making 33 million. Stratford's a better quarterback than Goff, and he's making 6 million less. Yeah, because they got Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. And the Colts have a good defense, and the Titans have a good defense too. No. And Brady's only making 25 million. The thing about Brady is always willing to take a pay cut to help the team. I gotta give him credit for that. He's always the type of guy who's willing to take a pay cut to help the team. Bridgewater, 21 million. Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks make a lot of money. Quarterbacks do make a lot of money. Some don't deserve it. I think it's dangerous. I think it's very dangerous. A quarterback, I agree that a quarterback should always be a franchise player. A quarterback should be the franchise. If you have a good quarterback or a star quarterback, they should always be a franchise player. But not every quarterback is good or great, and you shouldn't pay him like he's a franchise player. That's why you see some teams have success with quarterbacks not making a lot of money. Not making a lot of money. But around them, the offense has good money and they can build a defense. Look at the Seattle Seahawks when they won the Super Bowl and they went to the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson wasn't making a lot of money, but their defense was stacked and they were making good dough. Look at the Rams, for example. When the Rams, they did lose to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Goff wasn't making a lot of money, but they spent most of the money on the defense. Same with the Broncos. When the Broncos beat the Panthers, remember they had an elite offense, but their defense couldn't stop the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. So they spent their money on defense. Like was it DeMarcus Ware? DeMarcus Ware and some other good defenders. I forget who. You gotta be careful of spending a lot of money on the defense, on a quarterback, because they do end up getting paid. But I think, if I'm correct, free agent market starts this week. So Detroit got rid of the star receiver. The star receiver is a free agent. Let me check some NFL news. This wasn't gonna be a news show, but a newsworthy show. It's gonna be a 20th show. Like, I wanted to have fun, but let's check some NFL news. News. And you know the Texans, they don't want to trade Deshaun Watson. Yeah, I read that. I read they released I don't think the cap has gone up this year, so because of they couldn't have full capacity, right, in the stands, so they didn't get much gate revenue. Oh, but we got some hockey news though. Hockey is coming back to ESPN after a long time not being on ESPN. The NHL and ESPN have come to an agreement for the NHL to be shown on ESPN. And it's about time, guys. NHL really needed this deal with ESPN. So if you're a hockey fan, I know you can watch it in station like NBC or Fox, but now there's ESPN for national. And I believe they get some playoff games, Stanley Cup games, like certain playoff Stanley Cup games. Not every Stanley Cup game, but they get certain, like, I think they get, I'm not sure, 3 or 4 Stanley Cup games. And you heard this, related TV. So the NFL wants to compete with the NBA by putting football on Christmas, right? You've heard about this, right? The NFL is planning to they're trying for next season, to have games be played on Christmas, competing with the NBA. It's true, and NBA's had that date on Christmas as their day. The NFL is talking about having Christmas games. We don't have Thanksgiving games. Now they want Christmas games. Now they're competing with NBA. I don't think the NBA is very happy with that. And speaking of NBA news, we know Joel Embiid is hurt. He's out 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks with a bone bruise. It's confirmed. Jake Gardner's on waiver as well. Sorry. I admit I did watch some of the All-Star game while I was watching Revolution. I turned it off. I didn't like the NBA All-Star game. It wasn't good. But that's all the sports news because I wanted the show to be special because this is going to be about, I'm going to talk about what got me into sports. So, I'm a Blue Jay fan, right? From Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I'm a Toronto Blue Jay fan. I'm a Raptor fan. Maple Leaf fan. I do like the CFL. And speaking of that, CFL and XFL talking about merging. Possible. So, my first game, my first actual sports game I went to was a baseball game. My dad took me, so this is stories time. My dad took me to see the Blue Jays play the Detroit Tigers, the rival. The Detroit Tigers and the Blue Jays, even though they're different divisions now, but throughout the 80s and 90s, they were division rivals because the East, 494 or 95, each league had East and West, no Central. And Detroit and Toronto were in the East. And now Detroit's in the Central, right? So, yeah. So that's my first game, Detroit and the Blue Jays. Detroit at Toronto at Skydome, which is now the Rogers Center. So I seen them play. I might have seen them play every American League team ever. Let's see. I definitely see them. I did see them against let's go through the AIs. I did see them against Boston, New York, Baltimore, Tampa Bay. Okay, I did see all that. Central. Did see him against Kansas City, Cleveland. Did see him against Chicago. I did see him against the Twins. That's actually my second game. And I did see him against who else is in the Central? Detroit, Chicago, Minnesota, Kansas City, and Cleveland. Yep. In the West, I did see him against the Angels, Oakland, Seattle, Texas. But never against Houston. Now I gotta see him against Houston. That's the only team in the American League I haven't seen him against. But in the National League, who did I see him against? Mets, I did see him against the Braves. Marlins, I did see him against. Not Nationals, but I did see him against the Expos. So technically I guess I saw him against the Nationals. I did see him against the Phillies. In the Central, I saw him against the Cubs and the Reds in Cincinnati. Who else? I did not see him against Pirates. Nope. Cardinals? I don't think so. And Brewers? No. NL West? I did see him against the Dodgers. That's confirmed. I think that's the only team I saw in the NL West against the Dodgers. Man. And baseball's my favorite sport, man. This is one of my favorite moments in the Blue Jay history. Let me show you it. I mean, this is one of the greatest moments in baseball history. If my fucking internet loads up, man. Oh, you guessed it correct, man. I have it up here, so I'm going to share with you guys. I hope I don't get in trouble. So let's go watch it. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
Joe has had his moments. 2 balls and 2 strikes on it. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a belt. Left field. Way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was only 6 years old, so yeah, yeah. Mitch Williams, the Wild thing. You're right, and here's another. That's actually the second World Series they won, right? So they repeated as champions because they won in '92. This is the first. This is the first. Here we go. No, it was Jose Batista. Jose Batista. Jose Batista. Yeah.
Now talking to himself out on the mound.
So here's the moment, guys.
High fly ball toward the line and left, calling for it.
This is Al Pennant. Let's go find the World Series win. Where is it? That's the wrong video. 92 World Series win. So, yeah, I'm gonna show you it. I'm gonna show you one. It's one of
For the inspired
my other
Lenovo
moments.
Yoga
So
with Garage Pen.
it was tied 2-2, right? This is the Hall of Famer with Dave Winfield.
The runners go on the 3-2 to Winfield. Down the line, a base hit into the left field corner. White has scored. Alomar comes around. The ball gets away from Gant. It's a 2-run double for Dave Winfield. And a 4-2 Toronto lead.
Okay, I'm gonna go look for it. I'm looking for the clip. I'm looking for it. Here we go. Here we go. I got it for you, man.
So long, and it's gonna burn you.
I'll answer that in a minute.
No doubt about it.
So to answer that question,
I really do want to answer.
So to answer that question for you, Ron, Dave Steve was on the team from the 80s to early 90s. I did think he got a World Series title. Jimmy Key was from the 80s to 92. He did get the first World Series. He did get a first World Series in 92, but he was a free agent and left, I think, maybe for Baltimore or a National League team, Cincinnati or Baltimore. So he didn't get another championship with the Jays in 93, so he wasn't on the 93 team. But Dave Stewart was on Oakland, as you know. Then in 93, he signed with the Blue Jays and he won the World Series with the Blue Jays. But yeah, they had a bunch of good pitchers. They had Jack Morris, Juan Guzman. You could name a lot of them. David Wells, Jimmy Key, David Cone, Al Leiter. Yeah. Yeah, Key was on the Yankees. Yep. They had a lot of good pitchers in the 80s and early 90s. And some of them weren't even good enough to start on the rotation. That's how good the rotation was. What was? Like guys like Wells and Leiter were not always in the rotation. What they did in the 80s and early 90s, they developed a farm system really well. Kind of like they're doing now. And yeah. Yep, that's Jack Morris. That's 100% correct. He had a 10 inning shutout in Game 7 when the Twins beat the Braves. Yep, that's 100% correct. Then next year he signed the Blue Jays and won another World Series. Sorry, like my phone. He was that damn good. It might be possible, but I think it's really, really hard to do it. It's hard. Well, you know what? The way the managers use rotation and bullpen these days, yeah, it's a low percentage, a very low percentage chance of this happening. I agree there. Because Jack Morris was a workhorse, man. Was a workhorse. Now pitchers these days, they get pulled in 5 or 6 innings. Also, another favorite moment, guys, in sports history. I mean, I've been to Leaf games, but there hasn't been a lot of success in Leafs. Well, they're doing well now. They haven't won a cup in like 50 years. But in a couple Leaf games, they're very hard to get tickets for. Leaf tickets are extremely impossible to get. Unless you want to pay lots of money on StubHub. But I did see them against Pittsburgh, Atlanta Thrashers before they became the Jets. Winnipeg Jets, before that team became Phoenix, Quebec, and Quebec became Colorado. And I did see them against Vancouver, I believe. And the Raptors, I did see the 95 Raptor team. Actually, the 95 team was the expansion team, right? Yeah. So that's called an opener. They define it as an opener now. Somebody starts at first, and then another reliever comes in for second there. So the person who starts at first, the pitcher starts at first. They kind of define it as an opener. Yeah. Tampa Bay is the forefront of this new philosophy. Tampa Bay is kind of started this. Tampa Bay is kind of the forefront of a lot of different approaches to winning games. Yeah, Stoudemire, amazing player. So I saw the 95. I saw the last game of the season in 95. And David Stoudemire, oh my God, Stoudemire is yeah. Then I see him later on. They had like Vince Carter. I saw them with Vince Carter. When they had Vince Carter. But I did see some heartbreakers too, man. There was this one game, Toronto versus New Jersey at the time. And you know who was on that team? Vince Carter. And you know what happened? Vince Carter drained the game-winning shot against the Raptors. Yeah, I'm not lying. I was at that game. And I was at the game against the Cavaliers in 2003. LeBron James rookie year. His first 50-point game in his career. I was at the game. And I've been to CFL games, Argo games. I've been to a playoff game. They lost, actually. But they're fun, CFL games, Argo games. But I've never been to an Argo game at the BMO field, only at the Skydome, Rogers Center. I did see him when the Doug Flutie used to play for them. You know what? We'll see, man. I want to see how this will work. Well, if they do get something done, will CFL teams stay? Will they travel to the US and US teams come up here? Will they do that? Will they revamp the whole league? Because I think this is a money thing. I think CFL needs the money. They really got hit by money, especially because they didn't suspend the season, right? They actually canceled the 2000 season. They canceled it, so they lost a lot of money. In CFL, it's a hugely gate-driven revenue and revenue for them, and they struggle in markets like Toronto and Montreal. They get people to go to games, so they need those markets. So I'm not surprised in potential deal with the XFL to help them out. So I'm interested to see where this goes, right? How this work if anything gets done. Because I do like the CFL. I watch the CFL, and I personally think, I know you Americans are gonna disagree with me, CFL is a better game. If you like offense, CFL is your game. Yes, we have 3 downs. But let's be honest. NFL has 4 downs, right? It's still 10 yards. 3 downs should be enough to get you 10 yards. But the CFL is a much more offensive league because it's a bigger field. So there's more space for the offense to operate. And it's funny, I was in Buffalo one day in a hotel with my family, right? And I turn on the TV, turn to the channel. I'm like, wait, there's a CFL game on here. There's a CFL game on American TV. And I was in Cleveland, turning ESPN or something like that. ESPN 1 or ESPN other channels. They had highlights of a CFL game with the Argo game. So they keep tabs. Yeah, man. Cameron Wake, yeah. Cameron Wake is a beast in the NFL. He came from CFL. You're right. Cameron Wake is one of a few. Cameron Wake, great example. Jeff Garcia. Mike Vanderjack. What's his name? Who else? There's another one. Doug Flutie. You know that at his end of his career, but Doug Flutie. A lot of good players from CFL end up in the NFL. And there's been some notable NFL names that have no success in the CFL. Like a certain party boy at the Browns draft. Oh, what's his name? Manziel? No success in the CFL. Ricky Williams? No success in the CFL. But you know who played in the CFL? Warren Moon. There's the best example. Warren Moon. Oh! Don't forget Joe Theismann. Also. Joe Theismann, Warren Moon. Lot of players in the CFL were successful in the NFL. And you remember in 93, 92, they sold the CFL, the Argos, stole the most talked about athlete coming out of college and Walker Ishmael. Remember that? It was like 92 or 93. It's a better all-around game than the NFL. The thing about the CFL, if you're a quarterback in the CFL, you cannot be a pocket passer the whole time. Yep, Rocket Ishmael. Thank you. You're right. Rocket Ishmael and his brother, yeah. And the thing is, in the CFL, if you're a quarterback, I was telling you this, you cannot be a pure pocket passer. You have to be able to scramble as a quarterback. And the offensive linemen and defensive linemen, they're not as big as the NFL guys, but they're fast. Because you have to be in the CFL, you gotta be fast. That's the difference between the NFL and CFL. Oh, what's his name? Because if you tell me his name, I might tell you. But let's look at this is one of my greatest moments to see as a Toronto fan. Basketball. That's too long. Oh, maybe. Maybe that's the guy. No. How about this, guys? How about this shot before the NBA Finals? Let's watch this play, guys. I hope I don't get copyright. Let's watch this play. This is before the NBA Finals. This is Game 7. Game 7, the Raptors Sixers 2019 semifinal playoffs. Let's watch it. You know how good this shot is. Let's watch it. Yeah. One of the craziest shots. And let's look at this one. Dude. Dude, that's one of the craziest shots I've ever seen to win the game. That's like Robert Horry. Remember Robert Horry when he had a dagger for the Lakers against the Kings? Almost like that. Yeah, that too. That too. Let's go watch this one. I'm not gonna show you this whole video, but yeah. This was such a great moment. Here's another great hockey moment. Canada moment. Team Canada moment. 2010 Olympics. Canada and US. Setting you up. Canada was winning 2-1. US supposed to go. The US ties it in the third period. A few minutes left in the third period, they tie it. So they go overtime. Let me set you up. If I could find it, 'cause it's very hard to find. I forget. It might be a Luongo. It might be. I'm not 100% sure. I forget. Might be. Here. This is a full hour, but I'm gonna skip it. Okay. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, Crosby, yeah. Come on, load up. Sid the Kid, man. Is this it? No, it's I don't know why it's so hard to find. Here we go, highlight. Here we go, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Look at. There we go. One of the best moments in Canada Olympics history, period. Period. So those are some great moments in Toronto history, man. And so I'm gonna end the show here, guys. Nobody came on. It's okay. I said they could come in anytime they want. My back is a little bit hurting me. Okay, so end the show here. Before, yes, it was the Vancouver Olympics in 2010, 11 years ago. You're correct. So I end the show here. So it's all about wrestling this Monday at 3 p.m. That's on tap. Next Thursday, no, it's about to pop. That might be moved to Wednesday or Friday because I'll be watching Justice League Snyder Cut, and that's a 4-hour movie. Very people want to know, so there's a good chance I won't be on that show. Won't be doing that show. Saturday, I think Saturday should be fine next week for Why We Love Sports, episode 21. But in the future, as I said before the show, Why We Love Sports may depend on timing of when my Blue Jays play on Saturdays. It could be afternoon. If the afternoon games, so my show will be most likely on a Friday, move to a Friday. If not, if there are night games on Saturdays, which sometimes happens, I'll have my show at 3 p.m. It's about the Pops on Thursday. Same for It's About the Pop. If my Blue Jays are in the afternoon, it's all about the Pop that's going on. Don't expect a show. That'll be moved to Wednesdays. But if they have a night game on Thursdays, or if they have an off day on Thursdays, the difference between Thursdays and Saturdays, Thursdays tend to be off days, and Saturdays are never off days in the baseball season. So Thursdays, if there's a night game on Thursdays, my show will be at 3 p.m. If there's an afternoon game, my show will not be on Thursdays. And Saturday, same thing. Whatever that sports. If there's an afternoon game, no show. But if it's a night game, there will be a show. So afternoons. So basically, Saturday show, whatever those sports, could be on a Friday, depending on if there's an afternoon game on Saturday. But it could be on a Saturday. It could still be on a Saturday. If there's a night game for baseball. And on Thursdays, same thing basically. So be on the lookout for it. I'll schedule them so you'll see. So some days it's about to pop will be on Wednesdays, and some days will be on Thursdays. And whatever the source will be on, some days will be on Fridays, and some days will be on Saturdays. It just depends on my Blue Jays schedule. For the Leafs and Raptors, there's no issue because they all play at night, so there's no issue with that. I had no issues with that, but with the Blue Jays, it's a whole different story. And I'll be doing this for about 5 months, April to September. If they make the playoffs, maybe. I might be doing it longer. So bear with me for 5 months for doing this, guys. And also of note, I created a Yahoo Fantasy baseball. I got 3 people. Two people. I'm the commissioner. I got Throwback and Rob Wilkins. I need 7 more people to join so we can have 10 people, and then we can have a draft. The draft is tentatively scheduled for April 30th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to join, DM me my messages. I'll put my handle down here. I don't know why I forgot to put my Twitter down there. DM me, follow me there, and DM me. I think my messages are open. So if you'd like to be in the Fiasco Fantasy, no money, it's just for fun. We just need 7 more people. So let me know. And yeah, and I also I will send you a link after this. So to let you know, I might be doing a video game stream a little bit later, maybe at 5 or 5:30 my time. So thumbs up this video, subscribe, tell your friends, and enjoy your day. Take care. And Ron, thank you for listening. And I'll be sending you